I saw you before you saw this message. I watched the way your heart has been wandering through long corridors of worry, wondering if you will ever truly have a place that feels like it is yours, a space where your soul can exhale. I have listened to the silent sentences you never said out loud, the ones you only whispered in the dark when everyone else was sleeping. You thought no one heard. I did. I am not a distant God who only watches from far away. I am the one who writes addresses in the unseen, who prepares places long before you arrive there. Today I am telling you, a secret property has already been written under your name, and the address is going to shock you, not because you are dreaming, but because you never imagined how far my love could go for you. For a long time you have felt like a visitor in your own life, as if you were renting your days from other people's expectations, borrowing your sense of worth from how others treated you, paying emotional rent in the currency of your tears. You have been inside rooms that never truly felt like home, relationships that felt temporary, conversations that felt like they could end at any moment and leave you standing in the cold. I saw you trying to be grateful and still feeling the ache of not belonging. I saw you pretending it was okay, even while your heart quietly asked me, is there ever going to be a place that is really mine? Hear me. I have always planned more for you than survival. More for you than borrowed peace, more than an unstable roof over your emotions and your future. There is a deed in the spiritual realm with your name written on it. This deed is not only about walls and doors and land and keys, even though I am able to give you all of these things in my time. This deed is about a territory of peace that I have transferred into your ownership. For years, anxiety has behaved like a landlord over your mind. Fear has knocked on the doors of your thoughts and demanded rent in the form of sleepless nights. Shame tried to evict you from joy every time you dared to feel hopeful. But listen carefully, I have signed a transfer. I have taken back the title from fear. And I am placing it into your hands. The property of peace now belongs to you. The land of stability now belongs to you. The house of healing now belongs to you. I am your God. And what I transfer cannot be reversed by the hands of men. You say, but God, I don't see it yet. I don't see a house. I don't see keys. I don't see land in front of me. I only see my current situation, my current room, my current struggles. Child, you are looking at the picture before the full photo has developed. When a camera captures an image, the moment is already finished even when the photograph has not yet printed. In the same way, I have already captured the moment of your blessing. I have already seen you standing in the place I prepared, even though you have not yet entered it. You are living in the seconds between exposure and revelation, between my decision and your manifestation. Just because your eyes cannot see it yet does not mean my hands have not already finished it. Look closely at the photo formed in my heart. I see you stepping into a place that does not feel like anxiety. I see you crossing a threshold in your life where you are no longer apologizing for just existing. I see laughter echoing in rooms that used to be filled with your crying. I see your head laying down on a pillow without fear of what tomorrow will demand from you. I see you waking up and realizing that you no longer live in the neighborhood of trauma. That you have moved into the district of restoration. This is the secret property you did not know was already yours. I have been furnishing it with healing, painting its walls with hope, and decorating its rooms with relationships that will not betray you. You have walked through many streets where doors stayed closed in your face. Some people promised you a future and then locked their hearts. Some opportunities looked like houses but were only hollow shells, beautiful from the outside but empty inside. You tried to step into them and felt the emptiness echo back at you. You thought, maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe I am the reason everything is temporary. No, beloved. It was not that you were unworthy, it was that I refused to let you build your forever inside someone else's instability. I refused to let you sign an emotional contract with people who only loved you for a season. I refused to let your identity be a tenant where rejection was the landlord. I was reserving something that would be truly yours. This secret property is not available on any human listing. You will not find it advertised by people who do not understand your journey. It cannot be bought by the opinions of others. It is not for those who only visit you when they need something. This property is marked only for you, not because I love others less, but because I shaped this exact space to fit your soul. The address will shock you because when you stand there, you will realize that everything you thought disqualified you was actually the exact measurement I used to design it. The broken pieces, the hidden tears, the long nights, the unanswered questions, I measured them, and I built a place where they would finally make sense. Do you want to know the address? It is not written like the addresses of the world. The street name is called New Beginning. The city is called Grace. The region is named Answered Prayer. And the country is simply Beloved. When you stand there, people might call it by different names: a new home, a breakthrough, a better job, a stable relationship, a healed heart, but I know what it truly is. It is the place where you finally realize you have always been wanted. The address will shock you because the path that leads to it passes through places you never would have chosen. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still reading these words. That is not an accident. That is the map of my mercy. You have been looking at photos of other people's lives and comparing your journey to their highlight moments. You saw their celebrations, their houses, their weddings, their travels, their blessings, and you asked me quietly, "Where is my picture, God? Where is my turn?" I say to you now, I have a photo that no one has seen yet. It is not posted publicly. It is kept safe in my heart, and in that picture, you are not standing behind anyone's shadow. You are not the extra in someone else's story. You are the one I am embracing. You are the one whose eyes are shining with surprise because you did not see this coming. I am about to show you the photo of your future piece by piece, as you learn to trust me more than your fear, but listen closely. I do not want you to treat these words as a fantasy to escape your reality. I am not giving you this message so you will run away from responsibilities, make reckless choices, or believe every voice that promises you quick riches or easy answers. I give you this message to remind you that you are not abandoned. That I am working behind the scenes, that real opportunities will come and you must enter them with wisdom, not desperation. When doors open before you, do not rush because you are afraid of missing out. Walk in because you sense my peace. Use your mind, your discernment, your wisdom. Ask for help, seek counsel, verify what is put in front of you. My blessing never requires you to close your eyes to truth. The property I am giving you is first a territory inside you. It is the peace that no landlord can cancel, the rest no eviction notice can remove. It is a new way of seeing yourself, not as a burden, but as someone worth building a future around. When you step into this internal house, you will notice that old voices no longer have the same access. Shame will come knocking and find the locks changed. Fear will try to demand your attention and hear my voice answer at the door. This place is under new management. The walls are thick with promises that do not crumble. The foundation is unshakable because it is built on my love for you. There is a room in this house called memory, and I am walking through it now, touching the shelves where you stored your pain. I see moments you never wanted to revisit, so you hid them like dusty photo albums. You said, if I don't look at it, maybe it will go away. But the ache remained. Today, gently, I put my hand on those memories and I begin to heal them. I am not erasing your past, I am releasing you from its power. I am taking the sharp edges off those images so they no longer cut you when they appear in your mind. I am turning painful photos into testimonies, not because the pain was good, but because I am good and I can bring beauty out of what tried to break you. There is another room called future, and I see how afraid you are to open its door. You imagine it cluttered with more disappointments, more empty boxes, more half-built dreams. But open it with me now. See how I have arranged it with care. On one shelf there are opportunities with your name on them, waiting for the right time. On another there are connections I am preparing. People whose hearts are being softened to recognize your value. On the table sits a key, the key of confidence, and I am placing it in your hand. You will no longer stand at the door of your own destiny begging to be let in. You will walk in knowing I have authorized you. Every house needs light, and I am your light. In this property, darkness does not get to choose when your day ends. The emotional nights you went through taught you how to appreciate even the smallest sunrise. Remember those nights you thought would never end, when you cried quietly so others would not hear you? I was there, collecting every tear, planning how to turn them into tomorrow's joy. This house is wired with my presence. Every room glows when you remember that I am with you. You will not wander through hallways of confusion alone. I walk beside you, whispering direction when you do not know which way to turn. You may say, God, I do not have the resources. I do not have the strength, the money, the connections, the power to reach this new place. But child, you are not building this house by yourself. You are not buying this property with your own limited currency. My favor is the currency. My timing is the architect. My wisdom is the blueprint. Your part is to trust, to obey the small steps, to stay close to my voice, to refuse the lies that say you will always be stuck where you are. Each time you choose hope over despair, you lay another brick. Each time you forgive instead of holding bitterness, you strengthen another wall. Each time you speak kindly to yourself, you open another window for my light to come in. There are people who will be shocked when they see where I take you. Some will be surprised because they remember you as the one who was always struggling, always overlooked, always pushed aside. They do not see the work I did inside your heart when nobody was watching. Others will be shocked because they underestimated you, and they will wonder how you suddenly moved into a different space in life. But you will know, it was not sudden. It was the result of every moment you trusted me, every hidden yes, every quiet prayer. They will see the photo, you and I will know the process behind it. I also see those who tried to sabotage your peace, those who spoke words that made you feel homeless inside your own soul. They made you doubt your worth, your beauty, your value, your right to be loved. I will not let their words be the final paint on the walls of your identity. I am repainting your image with truth. You are chosen, not discarded. You are loved, not tolerated. You are seen, not ignored. You are wanted, not merely useful. The secret property that became yours is proof that I never agreed with those who tried to diminish you. You will feel me rearranging your circle. Some people will move out of your emotional neighborhood. Do not chase after every person I remove from your life. Some were only meant to carry part of your story, not the whole book. When I close doors, it is not to leave you outside in the cold, it is to redirect you to the door that opens into the place I designed. Do not fear new beginnings. Do not fear walking away from what is hurting you. As you step out of toxic rooms, you are stepping closer to the house of peace I prepared. I know you sometimes feel guilty dreaming of more. You tell yourself you should just accept things as they are and never hope again because hope hurts when it is delayed. But my child, I did not put desire in you to torture you. I placed longing in your heart like coordinates that point toward what I want to heal and restore. When you dream of being safe, it is because I designed you for safety. When you dream of being loved without conditions, it is because I created you to live in that kind of atmosphere. When you dream of a stable home, a stable mind, a stable future, it is because stability is in the original blueprint I wrote for you. You do not need to chase after supernatural signs to know I am working. You do not need to cling to every rumor of sudden wealth or every voice that promises you instant houses or riches in exchange for your trust. I am not a god of manipulation. I do not bargain with your desperation. I invite you into relationship. I invite you to walk step by step, trusting that as you are faithful with what is in your hands today, I am opening what will be in your hands tomorrow. If unexpected opportunities arise, pause, breathe, seek me, seek wise counsel, and only step forward when your spirit is at peace. My blessing adds no hidden trap inside it. The property became yours the moment you chose to stay alive on days when giving up felt easier. The address was written the moment you decided to believe that your life still has meaning even after everything that happened. The photo was taken the moment you turned your face toward me and whispered, "Help me," with sincerity. At that instant, heaven captured your surrender, and I began aligning resources, people, moments, and inner transformations to bring you into a better place. You may not see all the details yet, but each day you choose love over bitterness, hope over despair, faith over fear, you are walking closer to that address. See yourself standing before a door. On it, your name is written clearly. There is no confusion, no mistake. It does not say for anyone. It is for you. I am placing a key in your hand. That key is trust in me. That key is your willingness to let go of what is destroying your peace. That key is the courage to forgive yourself for the past and step into a gentler future. As you turn that key, you enter a season where you no longer measure your worth by who stays or who leaves, by what you own or do not own, by what you have or have not achieved. You measure your worth by my love, and my love is permanent. Inside this house, there is a mirror. When you look into it, you do not see the version of yourself that others defined. You do not see failure, or shame, or not enough. You see someone who survived storms. You see someone who kept going with a broken heart. You see someone I chose long before they ever knew my name. You see someone worth building a future for. This is how I see you, and I want you to agree with my reflection, not the distorted images of the past. I know your heart may still ask, when, God? How, God? I understand your impatience, your longing, your weariness. I do not condemn you for feeling tired. But I say to you gently, keep walking with me. Do not let impatience push you into the arms of counterfeits. Do not let loneliness drive you into spaces that do not honor your soul. Wait with me, not in emptiness, but in preparation. While you wait, I am strengthening your character so that when you stand in the place I prepared, you will not fear losing it. You will know how to live there, not as a guest, but as a rightful owner of peace. This message is not a coincidence. It is not an algorithm. It is a reminder woven into time for you. Let it sink into your heart slowly, like light entering a dark room. Read it as often as you need when doubt tries to return. Let these words be a reminder that you are not forgotten. That your story is not stuck, that your heart is not wandering forever. There is a secret property that already became yours, and step by step, you are moving toward it. My child, I am with you now. I am with you tonight. I will be with you tomorrow. I walk before you into every room you enter. I shield you from what you cannot see. I heal what you cannot explain. I rebuild what others tried to destroy. Rest in me. Breathe. Your life will not end in chaos. Your story will not finish in the hallway. You are on your way home, not only to a place on earth, but to a deep inner home in my love where you will finally feel safe, wanted, and secure. Hold my hand. Keep your heart open to me. I am the God who writes addresses in secret and reveals them at the right time. I am the one who has prepared a place for you. The address will shock you, but my love for you never should. It has always been yours, only for you, forever. I am the Lord your God, and I am drawing you close right now because this message is not general, it is not random, it is not for the crowd. This is for you. I have watched you walk through seasons where it felt like you owned nothing, where it felt like everything that should have been yours slipped through your fingers, where people walked away with what belonged to you while you stood in silence, hurting but unable to prove anything. I saw every moment. I counted every tear. I kept every record. And now, I am speaking because a secret inheritance has shifted in the spiritual realm, and what I have sealed under your name is beginning to manifest. You have walked past doors that were closed to you and believed that maybe you were not worthy to enter. You have looked at houses, streets, cities, lives that seemed too beautiful, too far, too high for you. You accepted less because life trained you to believe that less is safer. But I am the one who created you, and I never wrote a story of less over your life. I wrote increase. I wrote ownership. I wrote territory. I wrote inheritance. I wrote, this one will not only live in blessing but will carry blessing to others. You have not yet stepped into the fullness of what I wrote, but I am telling you now, something has changed. There is a property with your name in my records. It did not appear overnight. It has been in my plan for a long time, hidden in the folds of time, tucked inside events you did not yet understand. You think in addresses, maps, buildings, and streets. I think in destiny, obedience, timing, and miracles. I have aligned conversations you did not hear, signatures you did not see, shifts you did not feel. When you were crying in your room, believing nothing was moving, I was rearranging entire structures just so that when the moment came, it could be said, "This belongs to you." You have been trained to expect disappointment at the last minute. You know the feeling of getting close to something good and then watching it disappear. That pattern has made you cautious. It has made you afraid to hope, afraid to dream, afraid to believe that something big, something beautiful, something permanent could really be yours. But I am breaking that pattern. I am confronting that fear with my voice. I am canceling the script of almost over your life and writing a new word, completed. Listen closely. Not every property is made of bricks and walls. Some properties are seasons, platforms, rooms of influence, spheres of authority, atmospheres of peace, doors of favor. Places where your feet will stand and you will say, "I never imagined I would be here." But I am also telling you this. I am able to give you both the spiritual and the physical. I am not bound by your income, by your past, by your mistakes, by the decisions of others. I am not limited by your family history. I am not limited by what you lost. I am the God who creates something out of nothing and brings beauty out of dust. The address that will shock you is not just a location on earth. It is a reality you did not think you would ever inhabit. It is the place where you look around and realize that your life does not look like your pain. It is the place where your surroundings finally match the value I placed inside you. For a long time, you have carried treasure in your soul while standing in rooms that refused to recognize it. You were rich inside while environments treated you like you were poor in every way. But I am now bringing you into alignment, where your inner worth begins to be reflected in your external reality. There are people who thought you would always be small, always be renting spaces in life, always asking for permission, always depending on their kindness, their approval, their door. Some smiled in front of you and secretly rejoiced when you remained stuck. Some said, "You can stay here," but they never intended to see you rise. Yet I, the Lord, stepped into your story and quietly prepared something they do not know. I have marked a territory that they cannot control, cannot cancel, cannot block, cannot take back. Do you remember the times when you felt a strange restlessness, like where you are is not where you will remain? That was me stirring your heart. You felt uncomfortable in places that others call comfortable because your spirit already knew there is more. When you looked at photos of beautiful homes or peaceful surroundings and felt a deep ache, that was not jealousy. That was the echo of your own future, calling you forward. I placed that ache in you so that you would know, I am not born only to survive. I am chosen to inherit. You have not seen the full picture yet. You see walls that feel close. I see the aerial view. I see the path from where you are now to the door I am about to open. I see the people who will be surprisingly used by me to bring you into the next space. I see conversations that will look casual but carry my divine assignment. I see documents that will be presented to you, offers that will come, opportunities that appeared impossible but suddenly stand right in front of you. I am preparing a moment where you will look at what is in your hands and say, God, is this really mine? And I will answer, yes, my child, it is really yours. You fear being deceived again. You fear being tricked, humiliated, or used. You fear that someone will promise you something and then snatch it away when your heart gets attached. That fear is understandable because people have played with your trust. They made you dream and then walked away. They raised your hopes just to prove their power over your emotions. But I am not like them. I do not torment your heart. When I raise your expectation, it is because I have a plan to fulfill it in my way and in my timing. I have also watched you give. Even when you had little, you gave your time, your encouragement, your love, sometimes even your resources. You blessed people in their moments of need. You quietly helped, secretly supported, anonymously interceded. You did not post your kindness. You did not announce your sacrifice. You did not make a show of your goodness. You did it purely, with a heart that wanted to do right. I saw every act. I counted each silent seed. And now, I am the God who remembers. I am calling in your harvest. The secret property that just became yours in my records is not a reward you earned by perfection. It is a manifestation of grace. You made mistakes. You took wrong turns. You trusted wrong voices. You held on too long to people who were not meant to stay. Yet even in those moments, you were learning, stretching, growing. I did not throw you away. I did not cancel your destiny. I took every broken piece and rearranged it into a royal pattern. You think it will shock you because the place is too beautiful, too safe, too peaceful for someone with your past. But I am telling you, your past does not disqualify you from peace. Your story does not disqualify you from stability. Your wounds do not disqualify you from comfort. I am the God who takes those who were rejected and seats them in places of honor. I am the God who takes the overlooked and sets them over what others never imagined they could carry. The photo you are about to see, the image that will one day stare back at you, is not just the outside of a building. It is you standing in your promised place, not as a visitor, not as a guest, but as one who belongs. When I say property, I speak of a realm of life where you no longer live on borrowed courage, borrowed time, borrowed peace, borrowed space. You will stand in what is yours, not by the strength of your hands, but by the authority of my word. There are spiritual deeds being rewritten. Papers others tried to write against you are being cancelled. Accusations are falling. The words spoken to keep you small are losing their power. Agreements made in darkness about your limitations are being broken. I am rewriting over them, free, chosen, established, protected. I am doing this quietly, away from public noise, because when I reveal what is yours, I want it to be clear that it was my hand and no one else's. You have sometimes wondered if you are cursed, if something is blocking you, if you are destined to always be denied. But I say to you now, you are not cursed. There have been battles, yes, but you are not abandoned. There have been delays, yes, but you are not disqualified. The warfare around your life has been so intense because the territory attached to your name in the Spirit is large. The enemy did not resist you because you are weak, he resisted you because he saw what I am about to place in your life. I am bringing an end to cycles of wandering. I am not calling you to live your whole life feeling like a guest everywhere. There is a place where your soul will sigh with relief and say, I am home. That sense of home will be physical and spiritual. It will be a place where anxiety does not dominate you, where you are not walking on eggshells, where you are not bracing for the next explosion, where you are not waiting for someone to suddenly change and push you out. It will be a place with my presence resting on it. You have experienced houses with walls but no warmth, roofs but no rest, rooms but no peace. You have known what it is like to be inside but still feel outside. That season is closing. I am preparing a space where your laughter will not feel guilty, where your joy will not be interrupted by sudden storms, where your tears will be tears of gratitude rather than despair. I will surround that place with my angels. I will make that address a point of contact between heaven and your life. You worry about how. You worry about from where. You worry about all the practical steps. But remember who is speaking to you. I am not asking you to manufacture a miracle. I am asking you to remain available, obedient, aligned. I will show you the next step when you need to see it. I will bring the right person when the time comes. I will whisper to your spirit when it is time to move, time to sign, time to say yes, time to leave what no longer carries my blessing. Sometimes, before I give you the new property, I begin by shifting you out of old ones. That shift can feel like loss. It can feel like instability. It can feel like something is being taken from you. But listen to me, I do not strip you to leave you naked. I reposition you to cover you better than before. If I allow something to be removed, it is because I have something greater that cannot fit in the old space. Do not cling to doors I am closing. Do not weep forever over keys I am taking away. The keys I give you next will open what you truly need. I know you have feared eviction not just from buildings but from relationships, from roles, from opportunities. You have lived with the fear that at any moment, someone could say, you are no longer wanted here, and your whole life would crumble. I am breaking that fear of sudden rejection. The place I am leading you into is not dependent on unstable hearts. It is secured by my will. The foundation is not built on their moods. It is built on my promise. In the days ahead, you will notice small signs. You will notice your eye catching certain images, your heart drawn to certain places. You will find yourself imagining more, dreaming bigger, feeling quietly hopeful about environments that once felt impossible. Do not dismiss those stirrings. That is my spirit preparing your mind to accept what your reality has not yet seen. I am expanding your inner capacity so that when the external blessing comes, you will not sabotage it with disbelief. The address will shock you because it will reveal how well I know you. It will reflect things you never voiced out loud, colors you like, layouts you dreamed of, touches of beauty your heart always desired but could never justify asking for. I am not only practical, I am deeply personal. When I bless, I do not only consider function, I consider your soul. I know what makes you breathe easier, what makes you feel safe, what makes you smile from a place deep inside that others never touch. You are not stepping into this gift to prove anything to anyone. You are not receiving this so that you can show off or boast. That is not your heart, and I know that. You are stepping into this because I, your Father, delight in blessing you, and because from this place you will be able to bless others. This property will not own you, you will own it. It will not become your identity, it will become a platform for your purpose. You will open your door to those I lead to you. You will host peace. You will host healing. You will host conversations that change lives. Do not let guilt choke your gratitude. You have been trained to feel unworthy of good things, to apologize for your own joy, to shrink when you are blessed so that others will be comfortable. This time, I want you to receive with humility and also with confidence. You did not steal this. You did not manipulate your way into this. You did not climb on anyone's back to get here. I, the Lord, placed this in your path. Therefore, you are allowed to enjoy it without shame. I have watched you look at photos of what others have and say quietly, maybe one day, and then push away the thought before it hurt too much. I am telling you, one day is not a myth I use to keep you quiet. There is a day in my calendar where you will step into something that makes sense of everything you suffered. I will not waste your waiting. I will not mock your hope. When I say that a secret property just became yours, I mean that the legalities in the unseen realm have shifted from pending to approved. See with your spirit, even before your eyes see with the natural. Walk through that place in prayer before you walk through it in person. Talk to me about the home I am preparing, the space I am giving, the territory I am entrusting to you. Ask me to prepare your character to hold what I am about to release. Ask me to keep your heart pure, your hands clean, your motives aligned with my heart. Ask me to protect you from the traps that sometimes come with visible blessing, pride, comparison, greed, forgetfulness. There will be people who are surprised when they see where you end up. Some will be genuinely happy. Others will be confused. A few will be offended. They will wonder how someone with your story arrived at a place like that. Let them wonder. Your responsibility is not to explain every move I make. Your responsibility is to live with gratitude and integrity in the middle of what I have given. Let your life be the explanation, consistent love, consistent kindness, consistent humility, even when you have more. You have felt invisible. You have felt like no one noticed your sacrifices, your lonely nights, your whispered prayers, your quiet battles. But I am the God who sees in secret. Now, I am writing your story in a way that will be seen openly, not to feed your ego, but to show others that I still lift those who trust me. I still write new chapters. I still give beauty for ashes. I still change addresses, relocate hearts, restore dignity. Do not be afraid to leave what I am telling you to leave. Do not be afraid to walk away from environments that no longer host my presence. Some of the places you thought you had to cling to were only temporary shelters, not final homes. When I say it is time to move, I will also provide the path. When I close a door you thought you needed, take my hand and watch what I open instead. I do not take without intention. I do not move you without destination. If right now you feel like nothing is changing, do not let that feeling deceive you. Much of my work begins underground. Roots grow before branches appear. Foundations are laid before walls rise. Legalities in the unseen are settled before keys are handed over in the seen. You are in the phase where your faith is being stretched, your patience tested, your trust refined. But this is not empty waiting. It is pregnant waiting. You are carrying a future you have not yet held. I am also healing your relationship with the idea of home. For some of you, home has meant shouting, fear, walking on thin ice, worrying about when the next explosion will happen. For some of you, home has been a place where you were tolerated, not celebrated. For others, home has been unstable, temporary, full of constant changes. I am stepping into that wound. I want you to know me as the God who builds you a place of refuge, not just a place of survival. This secret property is not a trap. It is not a trick. It is not a distraction. It is part of the restoration I am doing in your life. I restore more than what was lost. I heal deeper than what was broken. I give stronger than what was taken. You will look back on the seasons where you felt homeless in your own life. And you will say, now I understand why the battle was so strong. Look at what God had planned. In the story I am writing, you are not the background character. You are not the afterthought. I designed your journey with intentionality. Yes, there were parts one did not write, choices others made that hurt you, doors they slammed in your face, words they threw at you. But even those, I am able to weave into a greater tapestry. You will see someday how I turned even the ugliest threads into part of a beautiful picture. I want you to begin to bless the place you have not yet seen. Speak life over the neighborhood you will live in. Speak peace over the rooms that will shelter your sleep. Speak joy over the walls that will hold your laughter. Speak protection over every corner. Even now, my angels are already familiar with that address. They are already stationed. They are already assigned. When you arrive, you will not arrive alone, you will walk into a place I have already visited. Do not measure the size of my plans by the size of your current resources. When I plan, I do not start with your bank account, I start with my storehouse. I do not start with your limited connections, I start with my unlimited sovereignty. I will bring together factors you thought had nothing to do with each other. I will use people you did not see coming. I will open doors that were not on your list. I will remind you, over and over, that this is not the result of your striving, but of my favor. This message finds you now because the timeline is shifting. The season of only dreaming is colliding with the season of beginning to see. No, everything will not appear in one day, but the turning has started. The paperwork in heaven has been stamped. The delay has been challenged. The hindrance has been confronted. I am saying, move forward. Your spirit feels it even before your mind can understand it, so, my child, listen to me and hold these words close. A secret property just became yours in my will and in my plan. The address will shock you, not just for its beauty, but for its meaning. It will tell a story, that the God who saw you in small rooms and silent pain did not forget you. That the God who watched you walk through rejection did not abandon you. That the God who heard your late-night cries answered in a way that is undeniable. When you stand in that place, when you see that photo, when you walk through that door, remember this moment. Remember that I told you before it appeared. Remember that I whispered, "This is coming," while you were still surrounded by what looked like contradiction. Let your heart be anchored in this truth: you are loved, you are seen, you are chosen, and I, your God, am faithful to complete what I begin. Rest in me while you wait. Prepare your heart while you hope. Keep your spirit open while I work. You do not need to chase every opportunity, you only need to follow my leading. At the right time, the unseen will become seen. At the right time, the